Aiden's Videos, and today we are back at Spirit Halloween. I'm going to be doing a full store walkthrough today, showing almost everything I can in the store of what this location has. This is the location in Clearwater, Florida. Here we go. This is not a hunting video, by the way, so I'm going to try to show everything I can. First off, of course, we have the theme, which there is no front portion of the theme in this store just because of spacing. But here is the Martian Warrior. I love this guy. He's so cool. And no, he is not licensed from the movie before you say anything, because so many people think he is. He's licensed from the better version, the trading cards from 1962. Making our way over here. Oh, we have Heckles now. Heckles is now coming to stores, it looks like. No more Poor George here. We have Heckles.
Every day is a happy day for a balloon. Here, take one. They're even nice on your death day.
I am really happy to see Heckles. I love the theming this year so much. I've mentioned it in hunting videos, but this year's theme is immaculate. Here is Slim from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Let's activate him. Love him. Oh, they're playing the Spirit Halloween song too. I never knew that was on their playlist. There is the Widow. And we're gonna go inside of the mausoleum, which I absolutely love the look of it. I love everything about it. It's so great. Here lies Cerberus, and of course Dagger Mike right here. Absolutely love this guy. I own him. He's a great one. Very underrated animatronic. I love Dagger Mike. Of course, amazing theming. And scary sitting Scarecrow right here. Not regular, scary. Which was clearly inspired off of the Wicked Makers version. But you gotta love him. Making our way to the back ISE here. There is now Hellspawn in stock, which is very exciting to see. So let's turn him on. There we go. Absolutely love this guy. Much better version than Mr. Dark. I love him. If you don't know, I love demon animatronics and demons for Halloween. So I love this guy, he's great. And right here, of course, we have the Howling Spirit. Not too crazy about this guy, I don't know. It's kind of cheap in my opinion. But it is cool, he is weather grade, so you can use him outside and not have to worry about it. That is a good thing about him. There's the Gargoyle, of course, which is turned on. I do not know if this is sold. It's very weird to see this because it's not being sold in stores this year, and it's kind of just by itself as a part of the theme. Very weird to see. Of course, amazing looking ISE. Every time I see it, I love it. Here is one of my favorites of the season, another one I own, Darling Dolly. Absolutely love her. Such a creepy animatronic. And there we have Eternal Rest, who unfortunately is not functioning. This is interesting. They have Jabber and Jack at Spirit this year. Very interesting. And of course we're gonna walk through here. Desmodus, who's not functioning either, but I love him. And of course, little Skelly Bones. And the 2023 version of Grave Watcher. I love the theming. I love the backdrop and everything. And we're gonna knock on this for Jumping Spider. There he is. This is such a cool contraption here, how the doors open. I love it. They've utilized the Jumping Spider in such a great way this year. I love that lighting in there too. I'm usually not a big fan of Fire and Ice lights, but in here, they did it well. And of course, all the candles and the amazing looking crypt. Here we have the Black Heart, another one of my favorites for this season. He is such a cool one. Just look at the detail on that face. I love him. And of course there's the coffin photo op right here. And here is one that I keep forgetting even exists because how tucked away he is in the theme. Here is Gordo. He is a cool one. And right here we have all of the zombie babies. Of course, Snack and Stevie, Mothy Max, Ravenous Ruby, one of my favorites, and new for this year, the Cherub, which is a remake of the 2013 Talking Cherubs. There's Gorius. I think his name's Gorius. I don't entirely remember. This guy, I don't remember what his name is, but I know he's new for this year. And then some returning ones, and new for this year as well, the Zombie Baby Cradle. And also the Horror Babies, which there's only a Sam right now, all the others have sold, but there's the Sam Horror Babies. Going over here, we're going to look at more of the home decor now. Some of the licensed home decor, of course, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre wreath. I love that thing. There's some other wreaths too, they're just sold out right now. There's a bunch of flags of different horror movies. There's Pennywise, Ghostface, Trick or Treat, and then of course the awesome door covers like the Frankenstein, Corpse Bride, It, Scream, Texas Chainsaw, Child's Play, Killer Clowns, Gremlins, The Exorcist, Halloween, some more It. Really cool stuff. Speaking of the horror movie things, we do have some of the new side steppers. There is the Ghostface one. I like him a lot. He's really cool. And the Frankenstein ones from last year, the Sam Greeter. Over here we have the Crouchy statue and some more statues like the Michael Myers Halloween Curse of Michael Myers statue here, light up. And some snow globes. We have the It snow globe, lights up blue, and Texas Chainsaw. I love all the love that Texas Chainsaw is getting this season. One of my favorite horror movies of all time. And down here we have the blow molds, the Annabelle, who's not working, and the Sam. And some projection lights of Pennywise, Jason, and Sam. And then here the Michael Myers string lights, which I believe have been here for quite a few years. Gonna go around this way here to see some of the other horror decor, a lot more trick-or-treat stuff. Sam Snow Globe. This light-up trick-or-treat wagon is pretty cool. And then some of these glasses here, some shot glasses of Pennywise and some killer clowns. And down here some glasses for Friday the 13th. Shot glasses for trick-or-treat, which are actually clearanced. It shows all the trick-or-treaters, that's pretty cool. Sam projection light, Sam statue. And over here there's more statues. There's Michael, which I might have already shown. There's Ghostface, I really like that one. Check that out. That's super cool. And Sam. Unmasked Sam. Over here we have the dolls, so there's Chucky. New for 2023, there's the Glenn doll. There's the Killer Clowns popcorn statue. These I did not see before, these are new. Leatherface statue. That is pretty awesome. It actually makes noise. And Pennywise statue, which lights up and makes noise. I wish this one lit up. That would be nice. The talking Chucky and Tiffany dolls. There's the Annabelle doll. And the sitting Sam doll with the light up pumpkin. More horror decor. Love all the horror decor at Spirit. Camp Crystal Lake sign. Pennywise sign. Nightmare on Elm Street. Another Jason. Halloween. And then over here, there's a Dairy Pennywise Funhouse sign. Elm Street. Haddonfield. Another It one. There's that awesome big Crystal Lake sign. All the Jason masks. Michael Wanted poster. Overlook Hotel sign. This Halloween knife sign. Sam's Rules of Halloween. Welcome to Haddonfield sign. A countdown. This Annabelle sign, which is pretty cool. There was an Exorcist one earlier in the season that was similar, but that's sold out. Sam countdown. Mars Attacks lenticular sign, which kind of changes. It shows the blueprints and then the gun. There's a Chucky in the Box sign, which also changes. An It sign. Another Michael Myers, a lot of Michael Myers stuff. The Frankenstein thing's awesome. I love the Universal Monsters finally getting some love. Please, Spirit, make life-size animatronic Universal Monsters, please. This is another clearance thing. This is a trick-or-treat sign. I love the school bus sign as well. I have this one. I absolutely love that one. So many. There's another Crystal Lake. Welcome to Haddonfield. There's a Springwood. And then there's these horror canvas arts. Speaking of animatronics that are in stock in the box, I see stilts. I see 2 Howling Spirits. There's quite a few Hell Spawns, as well as one that's over there. There's some Strawmans. The Cauldroness, very cool seeing her. Darling Dolly. There's a Leftover Nozzle, some Sandworm Groundbreakers. There's 2 Leatherfaces, and there's an Emmeline, which I absolutely love Emmeline. Of course, Leatherface cannot be set up at this store since it doesn't have the front entryway, but that's alright. We're going to move on over to the Hocus Pocus stuff. There is the, I think that's the Billy Butcherson tombstone, not the new Emily Binks one. A lot more Hocus Pocus. I've noticed their Hocus Pocus section this year is smaller than usual, which is kind of weird, but they still have quite a few Hocus Pocus things, including the Binks Snow Globe, the Salem map, all of this stuff down here, and the Light Up Winifred statue, which lights up green. And speaking of Disney Halloween, we have the Nightmare Before Christmas wall. I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised this is all there is for Nightmare Before Christmas this year, considering it's the 40th anniversary. I believe it's 40, or is it 30? I think it's 40. But I expected more. There's not a lot, surprisingly, but we do have Oogie Boogie, this Oogie Boogie pillow with his bugs, and those other pillows that are similar to that. A lot of the similar stuff that we've seen in recent years. I still really like that sign. These signs are new, but like I said, a lot of this is similar to stuff that we've gotten in recent years. Halloween Town sign. That Jack light is pretty cool. We're gonna look at some similar lights to that in a bit, that a Pennywise and a Jason version. We have all the plush toys, some snow globes, some pretty cool stuff. It's very hard to show everything because there's just so much, so I'm just giving you a brief overlook of everything. And here we have some Haunted Mansion stuff. This Haunted Mansion art right here is really cool. And Welcome to Foolish Mortals sign, Fleece Throw. This magnet set's cool. I love this Haunted Mansion sign. They've had this for a couple years. This is a great one. There's this skull, which looks like you can put stuff in it. And down here, the Haunted Mansion door knocker, which is a returning one from last year. I wish there was a light-only mode, because I love the lighting, but I don't want it to always be making sound. But it is very cool for what it is. And there's more Haunted Mansion over here, including a Haunted Mansion wreath, Haunted Mansion cup, and a snow globe of the caretaker and his dog. And there's more licensed stuff back this way with the Beetlejuice section, which has not decreased in size over the past few years. It has stayed big. Here's the Lydia Sidestepper. And up here, the Beetlejuice marquee sign, which has returned for the past few years. That thing's really awesome. I miss the Beetlejuice animatronic being in stores. With all this Beetlejuice stuff, it makes me wish it was still here. There's a Beetlejuice like journal, little tabletop tombstone, all these Beetlejuice light up busts here, including Miss Argentina, who has found a lot of popularity. Now that is cool. It is the handbook for the recently deceased. I haven't seen this before. I've seen this one in recent years, this journal one, which comes with the pen, but this looks like a full book. I would assume it's like a box that you can put stuff in. Yeah, it is. But it looks like a full book. That is pretty awesome. And this is also awesome. The shrimp hand greeter from the scene at the table where the shrimp comes to life. This is a really hefty thing. It's $50, but dang, this thing is hefty. It's big. That's a really awesome, even if you don't use it as a greeter to put candy in, it's just an awesome looking prop. I love that. There's some Beetlejuice plates, the sandworm plush, Beetlejuice Monopoly, and there's other stuff here. There's the sign kit and gel clings, more Beetlejuice signs, all sorts of stuff. The hanging Adam and Barbara tablecloth, a bunch of Beetlejuice mugs. This one looks like it's a new one. I don't think we've seen that one in recent years. That one's new. A bunch of Beetlejuice cups. Going up here, we have the Miss Argentina door knocker.
What do you want? You don't have an appointment, do you? You'll have to wait if you don't have an appointment. Number 54,601, Burn Dock.
And a continuation of the Hocus Pocus section right here with a lot of the Hocus Pocus home decor. And we're moving over here. This is very interesting. This is like classic ghost decor, but some of it has the phrasing from Beetlejuice, the no feet thing. That's a Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice. I don't know why it's not just licensed Beetlejuice, but I do like the classic ghost stuff with that aside. And something that's new this year, which is very cool to see, Corpse Bride stuff at Spirit. They had some costumes last year, but now we have decor. Like this side, I really want a Corpse Bride animatronic. I think that would be sick. I love Corpse Bride. I think that would be awesome. Some really cool things. There's the Scraps bobblehead and a Corpse Bride doormat. Here's more of the just classic home decor, including the haunted home stuff, which is kind of like a haunted mansion aesthetic. I prefer the horror decor because I feel like there's better options of the home decor that you can get at other stores if you just want classic stuff. But here's all the tarot stuff. Never been my type of thing. Probably one of my least favorite Halloween themes, but it exists. There's some cool things with it, like the death, and these are clearance. I think the things that are returning from last year that didn't sell well last year are clearance. Over here is the Gothic Noir stuff, which has been making a return for the past few years. Kind of hard to tell what's new here. I know that that's returning, that Edgar Allan Poe sign. I've always liked that. There's door covers and stuff, decor panels, there's mugs. This one looks new. The one thing I noticed that's definitely new here is this thing, which is pretty cool. I think it's a hanging, yeah, it's a wall hanging thing, or you can put it on a shelf. I think that looks pretty cool. And some more skull wall decor things here. Over here, we have the mystical stuff. So a lot of bug type stuff here, but a lot of mystical, like witchy, witchcraft type things. And I'm happy that they're actually playing Halloween music today. A lot of times Spirit doesn't. This is a continuation of the mystical stuff here. This cat skull is pretty neat. And there's some actual witchcraft books if you're into that. And the pentagram wreath. A lot more cool stuff. A lot of cool things. I like that pentagram pillow. Cool witchy stuff. Of course, the jumping spiders always make their return with new box designs this year, but there they all are. You have the black, you have the red and black, and you have the brown. There's some slippers, and over here we have the plush toys. I love this Sam one. And now there's an Annabelle. I hadn't seen that before. Crouchy ghost face plush. That's pretty cool. There's Adam from Beetlejuice, Michael Myers, Barbara from Beetlejuice, and back behind there, there's Miss Argentina from Beetlejuice. There's the Nightmare Harvester animatronic plush, Beetlejuice himself, Lydia, and more Adams and Barbaras. Right here, we have some bobbleheads, which are also really cool. There's Pretty Woman Leatherface, the Killer Clown Popcorn Clown coming out of the toilet, Georgie, Exorcist, Reagan, that Sam one, and this is perhaps one of my favorite ones, this Paper Bag Kid. I guess his actual name is Bagwell, I didn't know that, but the Paper Bag Kid from Trick or Treat, I've always really liked him. There's Hannibal Lecter. Please make a Hannibal Lecter life-size too. There's a lot of things they have the licensing to. I want to see animatronics of them. There's a Ghostface bobblehead, Michael Myers, and Gizmo from Gremlins. And over here we have some licensed doormats. So we have It, Scream or Ghostface, Michael Myers, Pennywise, Chucky, and one of the coolest, the Bates Motel. Over here there's a lot of mugs, which is something that a lot of people don't touch on, but I think they're pretty cool because they've got some cool designs. There's Amityville Horror, Nightcrawler, there's Chucky, Friday the 13th, Killer Clowns, and this bloody hand one's pretty cool. I want to point out that one. It has an imprint of a hand where your hand would go. That's pretty neat. More Killer Clowns, Sam. I don't even think I mentioned this. Silence of the Lambs. Over here there's these tin containers, and I didn't even see this before. Spirit Monopoly. I would assume it has like animatronics and stuff. That's interesting. I did not know that existed. That is cool. And some tin lunch boxes, very old school. Here's some more doormats over here and some more mugs, including a cool Freddy one. Gremlins, there's a Gizmo, Oogie Boogie, Zero, there's a Halloween one, Friday the 13th, Jason, cool stuff. And there's some more doormats, including Beetlejuice, Frankenstein, Hocus Pocus, and Trick or Treat. There's also some Halloween pajamas if that's your thing and you want that. And of course there's also That Halloween Life, which has a bunch of blankets, fleece blankets. There's Monsters Inc. Mars Attacks is pretty cool. Coraline, Trick or Treat, Coco. A lot of Halloween blankets, Killer Clowns. Over here there's even more. There's an Edgar Allan Poe, Haunted Mansion, Willy Wonka, that's interesting. Chucky, Trick or Treat, Friday the 13th, Ghostface. And here we have those interesting, very soft, very, very soft pillows of different characters, including the Big Top Burger from Killer Clowns. That's pretty cool. And a big skeleton pillow. And up there's Violet turning violet from Willy Wonka. What is Halloween without tombstones? Of course there has to be graveyard stuff. Fences, and of course your classic styrofoam tombstones, including Pet Graveyard, and one of the most interesting, the tombstone for the Limb Ripper animatronic from 2012 and 2017. One of my favorites of all time, so it's pretty cool to see that. More tombstones as far as the eye can see. And of course over here we have hanging characters, a bunch of them. A bunch of hanging characters. We're not going to talk about them all, but there's a Sam. And over here, something I forgot to show, the Ouija decor, which is technically licensed, which is why it's over by the license. And of course you have the Ouija board itself. And this looks like a Ouija journal. That's pretty cool looking. I like this hanging planchette for the Ouija board. It's pretty cool. We have the stuffed dummies, been returning for years, the Sinister Spirit doll. And that is a good segue into what I'm about to show in a second after I show the inflatables. There's a lot of cool inflatables, including an awesome ghost face, an inflatable of the sitting scarecrow animatronic, some other cool ones, a hearse, just some classic Halloween characters like rats, wolves, cats, tombstones, coffins, reapers, another ghost face. I like this ghost face one quite a bit, coming out of the pumpkin. More pumpkins, ghosts, all sorts of cool stuff. And segue here now into the more prop type stuff. A lot of these latex awesome animals. I love the rabbit, and of course there's the zombie cat, the black cat, and here's the lab rat, which is another really cool guy with stitches and everything. These are really good quality. They're foam filled latex. Absolutely love to see that. Here's all the creepy critters, a bunch of spiders, a bunch of different variants of spiders, zombie lawn stakes, the live wires, which I absolutely love. These things are awesome. I love those. Much better version of the old ones in my opinion. The sound is cooler, they just look cooler, I like them. You also have your step pads, and new for 2023, step pad covers, which has an assortment of different themings on there that it comes with, so you can cover up your step pads to fit your theme if you want. Over here we have lighting, which unfortunately, I do want to say this, I wish Spirit would get spotlights again. They don't do spotlights anymore, which I think is the most important for Halloween lighting. They do mostly just novelty lighting now. A lot of the whirl emotion. There's a new cool creepy clown one, but I really wish they would bring back spotlights. Spotlights are so important. Of course, fog machines are also very important, so it's great to see all of those, and fog juice, fog timers. These are a life changer, of course, because they are a timer for your fog machine, so you don't have to hit the remote or anything. But of course you have all your 400 watts and 1000 watts. I noticed something interesting this year, they're not bringing back the fog sense. Surprising. Over here, there's a bunch more lawn things, a bunch of the pathway lights, which I'm not going to press them all because there's just so many. Scary Flying Ghost, a classic, and more of the lawn things. Right here we have the Pose and Stay skeleton, which can be found everywhere, but of course there is one at Spirit. And then of course there's the smaller versions of the skeletons, the skeleton animals. I love this skull bull and a bunch of skulls, the red skull, half skulls, the vampire skull is awesome. Wouldn't a werewolf skull be cool? There's a little baby alien and looks like a piranha skeleton, along with some more animal ones. And this is good for a freak show, what I'm doing this year, a two-headed skeleton, the death moth, this cool skull pentagram thing, another alien skeleton, and this thing is very interesting and I kind of like it. If you did some detailing on this and like corpsed it, I feel like it could look really cool. It's a skull and a spinal cord and a pelvic bone. Very interesting, but also very cool. Over here we have more of the gore type things like the hanging heads. The hanging hooked head is pretty awesome. The stitched hanging head, the barbed wire hanging zombie, and I love the hanging pig head. They also have a hanging pig leg, which not here right now. Chains and some more gore body part pieces, which are useful in many different themes. Intestines, which just looks more like a brain. I like the long stringy intestines. I wish they'd do those. And a cool looking brain. This is definitely a higher quality brain than they used to have. That's a nice looking brain right there. A bunch of hanging props, of course. This witch is new for this year, I know that. Which, I don't know where her button is, but she definitely looks cool. And some more hanging things. The hanging kicking clown, been around for years now. Along with the kicking clown. It's a nurse, but it has the wrong tag. Over here, there's some more yard things, including the freaky fabric, bloody body bags, shreddy curtains. I like this bloody shredded curtain, that's nice for haunt purposes. And a bunch of caution tape that say different things depending on what you want to do. Some camo netting, more black shred curtains, fresh grave mount, collapsible coffin, and some swinging props, more sinister spirit dolls, and of course all of the new dolls for this year, including Devilish Desmond.
Once upon a time, there was a little doll who came to life when everyone went to school.
Down here we have the Butcher doll, obviously based off of the Butcher animatronic. And Loving Lilith, also new for this year, with some other returning ones. Here's a skull stack, which I cannot get to work, but it looks cool. And as well, a pumpkin stack. I actually like this one quite a bit. It just has light up orange eyes. Again, there's Jabber and Jack, very cool to see at Spirit this year, and pumpkin light. Moving into one of the best sections, the masks. Here's the Saw Billy mask. There's the Texas Chainsaw Trick or Treat Studios mask. Oh, they're playing Misfits. I love it. House of 1,000 Corpses, Captain Spaulding, Martian Warrior, Michael Myers from the 2018 Halloween. And speaking of the Misfits, as they're playing, here is the Misfits Fiend mask, which is really cool. I love the Misfits, so I think that is absolutely awesome. Here's some clown masks over here. As we listen to Teenagers from Mars from the Misfits, there's the Jolly Wally mask. This is probably one of my favorite clown masks they have. That one is awesome. And then there's this one. And there's some more bright colored clowns. I actually like this one. I think it's kind of creepy looking. Happy clown and some more generic clowns. There's a bunch of hats, of course. And over here, a bunch of weapons for all your weapon needs. I'm not seeing very many new ones this year. I don't know if they just haven't gotten in stock yet or if they didn't really make any new weapons this year, but I'm not seeing a lot of new ones. These are cool. These have been around for years and no one really ever talks about them, but they're very good costume pieces because it comes with the chest, the mask, and the hands, and it has a clown and a pumpkin. This pig moving mouth mask is absolutely awesome. I love the look of this one. Look at that. That's so cool. There's also a wolf scarecrow mask. I know this is a new one. And just a regular wolf moving mouth mask. And some skeleton animal mask, which also have moving mouths. This is a bat. And then there's a wolf and a crow. The King of Crows mask, one of my favorites from Ghoulish Productions. I've always loved this one. Up here, rabbit moving mouth mask, which is honestly kind of creepy. Pig head mask, skeletal evil goat mask, holy man latex mask that looks like Mr. Halloween Junkie. I'm not sorry, Josh. This grandma mask, which is kind of creepy. Undead zombie, alien. There's a ringmaster, creepy old man, green alien. Up there we have Darth Maul, all the Star Wars ones. Halloween 2, Art the Clown from Terrifier. That's really cool. Trick or Treat Studios. There's a Momo mask. Very weird. Friday the 13th, Jason from Ruby's, Vacuform Jigsaw, or not Jigsaw, Billy the Puppet, I'm sorry, from Saw. Some Batman penguin masks. Over here, we have the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. This hooded bird mask is actually pretty creepy. I like it. It's got the moving mouth. Over here, this is really interesting, a cartoon cat mask, which is really awesome. I really like that. That is a cool one. Nighty Night mask, Flesh Creature, Smiley, and a bunch of EL wire masks, of course. That devil mask, I would like this better if it was more fleshed out. It's kind of pushed in, but it's pretty cool. This Digi-Eyes skeleton, more EL wires. And over here we have clown ones. I don't really care for these types of clowns too much. They're kind of just there. This one's kind of cool though. And then there's all these face masks, which there's some great ones. These velvet skull ones are pretty cool. They're very interesting. And then I like the Eyes on You and all of the vintage masks, which looks like they didn't get any new ones this year, which is kind of upsetting, but they have the vintage grinning cat, which is my favorite. I like the bunny. The vintage dingus is a great clown. I want to get that for the haunt this year. Vintage phantom skull's great. Vintage zombie. I love the vintage witch. Vintage ape. Vintage pumpkin. Another cat. Devil and werewolf. Here is the adults Nightmare Before Christmas wall, which is much bigger than it ever used to be, and I'm happy to see that because I love it. I love the barrel lollipop down there. That's awesome. You also have Sally's dress, and then it segues nicely into the Beetlejuice section, which is about the same size as usual. These Nightmare Before Christmas masks are super cool. You got the Scary Teddy, you got the Witch, you got Beryl, and you have Locke. And then there's a Jack shirt. I like this Santa Jack costume. Also, I gotta mention these robot masks are great, and I'm probably gonna have to get a few of these for the Scare Zone at Fearville this year. AI Apocalypse. These are really cool. Dude, this is so awesome. This looks like THD 3000 from Home Depot. This is the one that I need to get for the Scare Zone at Fearville this year. That is sick, and it lights up. I love that. That is so awesome. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. There's a magnet set, pins and patches, decals, crossbody bag. Acid Pie, the cotton candy gun back again. And very interesting, the popcorn gun, which is absolutely massive. I'd love to see this thing in action. You can't activate it in the box, but it is big and it is cool. Universal Monsters are getting some love. There's a Universal Monsters Bride of Frankenstein flannel. Some more Universal Monsters, including the Frankenstein mask from Trick or Treat Studios, Creature from the Black Lagoon mask from Trick or Treat Studios, and this cool Frankenstein jacket. That's pretty cool. As well as an Invisible Man costume. That's awesome. I love that the Universal Monsters are getting some love. And one of my favorite sections when it comes to the costume sections is the Trick or Treat section. I really like this Trick or Treat flannel, which has Sam on the back. And then you have your pins, some earrings, and the awesome Trick or Treat masks, the clown, the devil, and the skeleton. Over here, there's some more Trick or Treat stuff, including another Trick or Treat flannel. It says always check your candy on the back, some Trick or Treat socks, and some Trick or Treat gel clings. And the Spirit merch. You have your traditional Halloween costumes, including this crossbody bag that looks like a skell animal. You guys remember skell animals? I like that vintage cat one. And some regular Halloween clothes, including a pumpkin shirt, a button-up shirt there. Pretty cool stuff. Pumpkin skirt. This stuff is never usually talked about up here, but I think there's some cool things, especially this Texas Chainsaw gel cling. That's pretty awesome. I also really like these VHSs. They're fake VHSs, but they're of different Halloween and horror movies, and they have stuff in them. So you see they have patches, buttons, decals, and lanyards in them. There's there's Corpse Bride, and what did I tell you? Harry Potter's a Halloween movie. There we go. There's also these, this says handmade by robots. I don't know what that means, but you have those little snow globes. And over here, all the Funko Pops. Nightmare Before Christmas. There's the new Killer Clowns one, Bibbo with Shorty in the pizza box, and then there's Victor and Emily from Corpse Bride. That was my full Spirit Halloween 2023 store walkthrough. I hope you all enjoyed. There will be many more videos of Spirit this season, which will be included in the hunting videos, but this video was just an overview of the entire store. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember that here lies Halloween.